Hello, hello. Good morning. Happy Saturday. This is my first time going live on multiple platforms. I'm going live on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, I'm on LinkedIn. So, hello, wherever you're watching from, make sure you say hi in the chat. But I'm super excited. If you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. Today, I'm talking to you. If you are someone who has ever thought that you don't have the skills that you need to be successful in a new career, specifically, obviously, anyone's welcome to this live, but specifically, I primarily work with women who have been on the same path in their careers for over 8 years and have been unhappy for quite a few of those years, but have no idea what else they could do. And one of the worries or one of the fears that they tend to have is feeling like they don't have the skills to be successful anywhere else. And so, if that sounds like you, welcome, watch the replay. For those of you who are here live, say hello. I have LinkedIn pulled up on the side so I can see Instagram over here. I can see the chat. LinkedIn over here so I can see the chat. So, y'all, I have not been live in, I think, almost a year, but I love going live. If you have been following for any length of time, you know that I used to go live regularly. And when my notebook is out, your notebook should be out because it means things are about to get good. But before we get in, if you're watching the replay, again, thanks. But for those of you who are here live, say hi. If you're on Instagram, say hi in the chat. Let me know your name, what city are you in, where are you watching from. If you're live on LinkedIn, say hi. Let me know your name, where you're watching from. I'm really excited. For those of you who are new here, don't know who I am, I'm Dr. 𝙁𝙤𝙣𝙔𝙪. I am the founder and owner of Her Career Doctor, where I'm a career counselor and coach. And I primarily work with women who are unhappy in their careers and help them get super clear about who they are so that they can find a fulfilling career that allows them to thrive in their zone of genius, live on purpose, and get paid a value aligned salary. And today we're going to be talking about skills. I'm talking to, again, like I said, those of you who have believed that you just don't have the skills to be successful anywhere else, you think that you cannot be successful anywhere else, this live is for you. Say hi in the chat. Hi, Dr. Lon from New York City. Hey, New York in the house. Hello, hello. Welcome. Others, let me know where you are, where you're watching from. Let me see what's happening in the comment section on LinkedIn. Okay. Welcome, Fatima. Welcome, Dami. Welcome, Tamara. Good to see you all join. But let's go ahead and get right in. So this is going to be a quick one. It's Saturday. I want to get you this content, get you in and out. I got like laundry to do. I got a kitchen to clean. So let's get into it. And like I said, if you came to this live not ready to take notes, I need you to be ready to take notes, okay? Because it's going to get good. But if you are someone who has ever thought to yourself, I just don't have the skills to be successful anywhere else. You have thought, I can't do anything else in my career because I don't have the skills. Then this live is for you and I want us to talk about it. And let's start. I always love to start with, where are the thoughts coming from? So why might you believe that you don't have the skills that you need to be successful anywhere else? Well, first, it's important to recognize that if you have been in the same path in your career for over 8 years, you start to develop what I call career tunnel vision. Okay. You start to develop career tunnel vision where you only essentially see yourself from one lens. You only see yourself as, doing what you've always done. You only think you're capable of doing what you've always done. You are used to the responsibilities you've had at work. You're used to the projects you've worked on. And so it's easy to start seeing yourself in one lane. And when you see yourself in one lane, it's hard to see how you can go into another lane or how you could do something else. It's hard for you to conceptualize the fact that you are even able or capable of doing something else. And so that's the first problem. The second thing, and the second place this thought might be coming from, is that if you have not only been on the same path for the last 8 years, but the company you've been in, the path you've been in has been unaligned, meaning it hasn't been aligned with your values, it's not aligned with your skills, it's not aligned with your interest. And so that has led to you feeling unhappy and unfulfilled and unsuccessful in the job. It is also easy for you to start internalizing messages about what you are capable of, about what you can do and what you can't do. One thing I've seen consistently when I work with clients, I actually just had a conversation like this with a client, like literally yesterday in a coaching session. I have a client still working together who had been in a work environment that was really just terrible. She had a toxic boss. They would give her responsibilities, but not give her any feedback on the responsibilities or on her performance. She wouldn't get feedback on how to improve, but then she would get these performance plans saying that she wasn't doing well. It really did a number on her confidence. And what you start seeing when you have been in that kind of environment for a long time is that you start internalizing messages about what you can do. You're the one that starts telling yourself, I'm not skilled enough. I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe something's wrong with me. Like, you start internalizing all these messages about your capabilities, which is why you now think that you can't do anything else in your career. If that sounds familiar, those of you who are watching live, just drop a heart in the chat. Let me know if that sounds familiar, if that sounds like you. Drop a heart in the chat so that I know that you're here, that you're watching, and that it's resonating with you. And the problem with this belief, right? If you have been telling yourself that you don't have the skills to do anything else, but you know that you're unhappy, right? Like, you know you're unhappy in the role that you're in, but this belief that you can't be successful anywhere else has kept you in that job, you find that you start feeling afraid, you start feeling hopeless. And like I said earlier, your confidence really just takes a beating. You start thinking, okay, no, you're already thinking, I don't have the skills to do anything else. And then what starts happening is you're afraid of different things. You're afraid that if you make a change and go somewhere else, you wouldn't be successful, or maybe they wouldn't like you, or maybe you wouldn't have the skills that it takes for you to be successful in that role. And when that fear sets in, what usually happens is you end up just not taking any action. So again, you know you're unhappy in your role, but because you're afraid that you wouldn't be successful doing anything else, because you don't think you have the skills to do anything else, you end up just settling where you are. You just stay in the role that you're in that's making you miserable. And the thing is, over time, when you're staying in a role that's making you miserable, over time, your physical health starts suffering, your mental health starts suffering, your relationships start suffering. And like, there's different aspects of your life that also get negative impacted when you stay in that role. And then you'll look up, you look up 5, 8 years down the line, and you're thinking to yourself, dang, I am still, like, how am I still in this position, right? Like, how am I still in this role that I've known I was unhappy for years? That's what happens when fear sets in. One that I think is often not talked about that's really detrimental is the hopelessness. Like, when you think that you don't have the skills to do anything else in your career, you start feeling hopeless. You start thinking, you know what? Maybe work is just meant to be miserable. Maybe a fulfilling career is just not in the cards for me. Maybe I'm the problem and it's too late. Like, I've heard some clients who have just said, maybe it's just too late for me to find career fulfillment. I'm 30, I'm 40, I'm 50. It's too late to change careers. I'm just stuck where I am. And so then, because you feel hopeless, because you feel like making a change will not make a difference, you don't take action. Like, you end up just staying in that job that is literally sucking the life out of you, y'all. Like, this job is draining you. It is draining your soul. And it is because you have felt hopeless, not to mention that lack of confidence one. When you don't think you have the skills to do anything else, you can't market yourself well in the job search. You don't even look at certain roles because you just automatically, you tell yourself, I don't have the skills. I can't do it. You just move away from it. And so ultimately, when you believe that you're not skilled enough to do anything else in your career, it keeps you in that cycle of misery. It keeps you in that job that's draining you, that's exhausting you, that's making you feel undervalued, that's making you feel unfulfilled, that's making you feel like you have nothing to contribute to the world when you actually do. That is the downside. And so, as you can see on the screen, the message that I want to give you today is the fact that you actually have a lot more skills than you think you do. And that a lot of those skills can and will allow you to be successful in another career. Like, you actually have a ton of skills. And honestly, the problem is that you just don't know how to identify them, which I don't see that as a problem, more so as nobody has taught you how to identify them. Like, this is one thing I see a lot in my work. I'm very big on this, is career development, y'all, is an entire field on its own. Like, I research career development for a living. I've been researching career development for like 10 years now, if I'm trying to do the math, okay, maybe like 7 or 8 years, there's entire like models, theories, concepts, research, variables in this field. It is a whole area of expertise. But I think that because everybody has a career, right? Like literally, whether you are a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, a program manager, an engineer, an accountant, a teacher, a school psychologist, HR, doesn't matter what you do. Everybody has a career. For some reason, we then think that you should automatically be able to navigate your career. Like you should just know how to pick a fulfilling career path. You should just know how to find a fulfilling job. But it's like, no, if nobody has taught you how to do it, why would you just naturally, magically, automatically know how to do it? Like if nobody has taught you how to make career decisions that are aligned with who you are, then you can't blame yourself for not knowing how. So yes, you think that you don't have the skills to do anything else. And it's because nobody has taught you how to look at your skills differently, how to look at your career experiences differently. And that's why your girl is here. That's why I'm here. It's to help you look at it differently. So let me pause real quick and let me look at the chat. If this is resonating with you, just drop a 1 in the chat. Let me see. I know things are a bit delayed on Instagram. So I'm going to give it like a hot second. Drop a 1 in the chat. Let me know if it's resonating with you. If you are watching on LinkedIn, just drop an emoji in the chat. Let me know again, what's resonating, what's not resonating as we continue. Because now I'm going to share with you the work task and skills dilemma, because that really is why you think you don't have skills. There's a work task skills dilemma that I'm going to share with you. Okay. Diane said 1. Awesome. Okay. So I can see that it's resonating. So let's keep going. I see the 1 in the chat. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So why do you have tunnel vision in your career? Remember I said, if you were here when I started this live session, I talked about how when you've been on the same path in your career for over 8 years, it is easy for you to to develop tunnel vision in your career. That's why you think you can only do what you've always done. Okay. Well, the reason why you develop that tunnel vision is because you start conflating your work tasks with your skills. You start conflating your work tasks with your skills, and those are two very different things. So your work tasks are the activities that you do day in, day out. It's what you're responsible for. So if you are in customer service, your work task is maybe answering the phone, talking to people, and keeping a phone log. If you are in program management, your work task is maintaining deadlines, managing the team, making sure everybody's using the right software. If you're a teacher, your work task is teaching your students, it's grading papers, it's doing professional development, right? So the work tasks are the responsibilities that you have. Generally, when you look at a job descriptions, when you see how they have the bullet points with the responsibilities, those are work tasks. Work tasks are role specific. They are very specific to a role. They are specific to an industry also, for the most part. And so when you have been in the same path on your career for 8 years, you are so used to doing your same work tasks day in, day out, that's why you think it's all you can do. But you have skills. Your skills are the things that drive your work task. Like the analogy I love to give, and I gave this analogy on the podcast recently, is think of your work task as like the body of a car, like the actual body, and your skills as the tires, the wheels on the car. If you go to a car shop and you're like, maybe you have a flat tire and you want to change your tire, they're not going to really ask you, do you have a Toyota or a Mazda or a Honda or a Mercedes? No, they're going to maybe look at the body of your car in the sense of they're going to look to see, is it a SUV? Is it a sedan? And then that's how they'll pick the wheels. But those same tires can go across any different type of car. You can use this, if it's the same size of car, you can use the same wheels on a Toyota that you use on a Honda, that you use on a Mazda, right? Depending on the size. That's how I want you to think about your skills. Drop a heart emoji in the chat if that's resonating with you. Let me know in the chat. Like that's how I want you to think about your skills, is you have skills that can go across roles, that can go across industries, that can go across companies. Whenever you do a work task, there are skills under that task that you are using to help you accomplish the task. So for example, earlier I said, if you are in customer service, you might be answering the phone, keeping a log. That's the work task. But to do that, you're using communication skills to answer the phone. You're using organization skills to keep the log. Maybe you're even using written skills to keep the log. Like those are skills that you can then use when you're doing other different jobs. If you are in HR, maybe you have to onboard a new client. I'm making some things up here, right? Onboarding, yes, that is specific to HR. It is a work task. But to onboard somebody, you have to use your listening skills to hear them and hear their needs. You have to use your organization skills to put together the materials for them. You have to use speaking and presentation skills to teach them how to onboard into the organization. You might have to use conflict resolution skills when issues come up. Your skills are not specific to a role, an industry, or a company. Your skills are yours. Your skills go with you everywhere and anywhere you go. So, yes, you have work tasks that you do that are very, very specific to the job that you have. But what skills are driving those work tasks? It is so important to clarify the difference because usually when people say, and I've seen this with my clients, I've seen this with women I talk to, when you say, I don't have the skills to do anything else, that's not what you mean because you're not even thinking about your skills. What you're thinking is, I've only ever done one job. And so this is the only job I can do. But that's not true. Ooh, that rhymed. That rhymed, y'all. But that's not true because in doing that one job, you developed a ton of skills that you can use in other jobs. And so, what you need to do in this situation is first clarify what are my work tasks? And then, for every work task that I have, what are the skills that I use to accomplish that work task? Once you do that, y'all, let me tell you, game changer. It's a game changer. It's a game changer because you start seeing that you have options in your career. Like you're not tied to one path. You're not tied to one lane. You're not tied to one direction. There are actually other opportunities that are available to you. That's what makes it a game changer. Once you clarify your skills, you realize, oh, I can be in a different company. I can be in a different role. I can be in a different industry. Like this is what helped I have a client who has gone from teaching to program management outside of education. Another client has gone from engineering to teaching to education. I've had a client who has gone from being a homemaker, so a stay-at-home mom, to a UX designer. Like once you evaluate the skills you have, actually, once you even clarify what skills are, and that skills are different from work tasks, not only does it open up your possibilities, you realize that you have more skills than you thought you did because you stop looking at skills as something that you only develop at work. You stop looking at your skills as something that you only develop at work because they're not. You develop skills in your daily life when you're going shopping, when you're talking to your loved ones, when you're planning your home, when you're organized. Like you develop skills at different points of your life. And so when you can learn to audit your entire life, so not just your career, but also what you do outside of work, it helps you realize all the skills you have available to you. I remember working with another client of mine, and when we were doing this audit, she realized, she's like, you know what? I love being hands-on. Like at home, I just put together a new closet with my husband. I'm someone who, like, when I go to IKEA, I like putting the furniture together. She just realized that she liked doing things with her hands. And that helped us recognize that she had that skill set that she could transfer into the tech industry. Like there were specific roles in tech that allowed her to just maneuver things with her hands that she was good at and she would find fulfilling because it's something she enjoyed. That is the power of separating your skills from your work tasks. Like, let me even use myself as an example. So my full-time job is as a professor. I teach counseling at a large research university. So when I teach, what are my work tasks? I have to develop a lesson and deliver the lesson to my students. I have to do research, which, sometimes I collect data and analyze data. I write a research article. I submit it to a journal for publication. I have to do service. So I have to serve in committees. So I'm in meetings. I'm talking to people. Those are my work tasks. Everything I just said is specific to my job as a faculty member. Like I'm not going to go be a program manager and be developing curriculum, right? No. That is very specific to being a faculty. And so if I only thought about myself in the role of my work tasks, what I would be telling myself is, I can't do anything else because I'm a faculty, and I've been a faculty for about 7 years now. So I'm almost at that 8-year mark that I was talking to you about earlier. So I might be thinking, oh, I don't have the skills to do anything else, when really all I'm thinking about are my faculty work tasks. But for me to plan a lesson and deliver it, I use curriculum design, I use presentation skills, I use public speaking skills, I use communication skills, I use even design skills to design the slides. For me to do research, I use data collection skills, I use data analysis skills, I use written communication skills, I use editing skills, I even use self-regulation skills, because y'all, the publication process is brutal. Like, let me tell you, the amount of rejections that I get in this job is beyond me. But I use self-regulation skills to self-coach, to keep going when I get hit with negative feedback. All of those skills I can use to do other things. I could be a corporate trainer. I could be in learning and development in a corporate environment. I could be a program manager because I'm the program coordinator for our doctoral program. I could use those skills to manage a program. I could even potentially, with the right certification, do HR because I have all the skills. Like, I hope you're tracking and you're seeing with me how your skills and your work tasks are different, and how when you say to yourself, I don't have the skills to do anything else, you're not talking about your skills. You're talking about your role. And you're thinking, I've only done this job, so it's all I can do. Okay? If that sounds like you, like if that's something, let me even back up. If you've been unhappy in your current job, so like I said earlier, usually you've been working in the same path for about 8 years. And for like 3 to 5 of those years, you've been unhappy. You've known you were unhappy, but you have stayed because you've been telling yourself that you don't have the skills to do anything else. And I want to invite you to work with me in my program, Find Your Fulfilling Career. FYFC, Find Your Fulfilling Career, is opening at the end of the month on September 28th. And this is exactly what I help women do. Like, in that program, you will use my skills model to audit your entire life, like not just your career. I will walk you through how to audit your career and your life so that we can start pulling all the skills that you have. Like, what are the different areas and skills that you have developed? And then you'll use our skills list to identify which of those skills are transferable, because yes, they're not all transferable. Okay. We have some skills that are similar to our work task. Like, you're not going to use them in very many places, or even maybe not places that you want to go into. So we will identify which of your skills are actually transferable and which of them do you enjoy. This is what I call your high power transferable skills, because yeah, let me pause here. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you enjoy it. Put an emoji in the chat if that resonates with you. Put any emoji in the chat. Because I know some of you, like, you've been at your job so long, they've given you all these responsibilities that just because you were the only one who could do it, you were the first one to do it, you've done it for so long, you became good at it, but you don't actually enjoy it. Like, you're like, I do this just because I have to. I see your emoji, thanks. But you're like, I'm the only one on the team who can do it. That's why I do it, but I don't actually like it. Right. And so in my program, I talk about something called your high power transferable skills, meaning high power is what are those skills that when you use them, it makes you feel strong, it makes you feel powerful, it makes you feel confident. And then which of those are transferable to different roles, different industries, different companies. And so in the program, we'll use my skills model. So skills is an acronym. I'll walk you through how to identify, audit all your work tasks, pull out the skills, identify which are transferable, which you actually enjoy, so that within like just a few hours, like process doesn't take long at all. Within like 2 to 3 days, if you're working full time, you will have your list of high power transferable skills. And that is a third. Like, that is literally a third of the 3 parts that you need to find a fulfilling career. The other 2 just being your values and your interest. And so once you clarify all of that, you will be able to identify your fulfilling career path. This is what I help women do in my program, Find Your Fulfilling Career. Like I said, enrollment is opening on September 28th, and I'm kicking off with a free live launch event where I'm going to be showing you how to clarify your fulfilling career path in just 30 days. I'm going to show you how to clarify your fulfilling career path without starting over in your career, using the skills that you already have. I'm going to teach you the one thing. There's only one thing that you need to actually secure a job that you are excited about while positioning yourself as the best candidate, while increasing your salary by at least 5 figures. That's what we do in FYFC. So I put a link on the screen. If you are watching on Instagram, that link is also in my bio. If you are watching on YouTube, it's just hercareerdoctor.com/clarify. If you're watching on LinkedIn, same URL. I've been sharing about this, but I'm kicking off the doors opening to FYFC with this free live launch event. So I'm going to teach you for free how to clarify your fulfilling career path in just 30 days, which includes identifying your high power skills. So definitely go register for that event so you can learn more about how to clarify your fulfilling career. You will learn how I will help you in FYFC clarify your skills, separate your work tasks from your skills, and identify the skills that actually energize you, the skills that actually engage you. And then immediately after the live training, doors will open and you will be able to join us in FYFC. So I haven't said this earlier, but Find Your Fulfilling Career is my signature 12-month group coaching program. So we've just gone through a big upgrade where you get access to weekly coaching for 12 months. You get full support in your job search. So first, we will clarify. If you join this round, I'm actually doing a live challenge where we're going to clarify your fulfilling career path in 30 days. Like by the end of the first 30 days, I want you to be ready to job search. And that's a bonus that's only exclusive to this round of the program. But anyway, in FYFC, we help you clarify your fulfilling career path. And then you get everything you need and all the support you need to start job searching, from job search trackers to resume templates, to cover letter templates, to video trainings, to LinkedIn scripts, to interview scripts, to negotiation scripts. Like literally, this program was designed to give you everything you need: the curriculum, the coaching, the community, and the support to clarify your fulfilling career path and land a job that you're actually excited about, a job that actually engages and motivates you while increasing your salary by at least 5 figures. So on average, my clients increase their salaries by 30K. And so our promise to you is that when you land an exciting job, you will increase your salary by at least $10,000. So again, the link to register for the launch event is on the screen. It's hercareerdoctor.com/clarify, CLARIFY. If you go to that page, you can learn about the free training. You can also learn about FYFC. Take the first step by just register for the training. Come to the training. It's on September 28th at 12 p.m. Central Time. And I will show you the fact that you have more skills than you think you do. Like that's just like, if you take anything off with this, you have more skills than you think you do. And you know, one thing I just thought about that I didn't say early that I think is really important for you to recognize is that when you stay in that job, right? So you've been in this job for over 8 years that's making you unhappy. Hey, Tenny, when you've been in this job for so long, it starts like, how do I want to say this? It literally is not a conducive environment for your growth and your confidence. Like when you're doing work that isn't fulfilling, when you're working with managers that are toxic, when you're working with coworkers that are stressing you out, when you don't feel good about your job, it impacts your confidence. You stop growing in your career. And that's why you feel like you're at a standstill. That's why you feel like you're just coasting and that nothing is happening in your career, because the environment that you're in is not conducive for it. And here's why I'm saying that, because if you desire fulfillment in your career, if you desire growth in your career, you need to get in another environment that speaks life into you. And that's what you get in FYFC. Like you need to be in another environment that helps you see yourself how you used to see yourself when you first started your career. You need another environment that helps you see that you have skills, that you have value to offer to an organization, that you are competent, that the things that they have made you think in that job is not true. Like you're not, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just in an environment that isn't conducive for your growth. And so, like I said, if you are ready to clarify a fulfilling career and you are tired of just letting fear and hopelessness and low confidence keep you stuck in that job that you know is unfulfilling, I want to invite you to join us in FYFC. Enrollment opens September 28th. I'm so excited, y'all. Like over the next few weeks, I'll tell you more about it, but there's so much updates that have come to FYFC. So I'm really excited to share how we are going to elevate how we've been supporting women. Like to date, we have helped over 100 women in across 4 continents, in 20 different industries, and 30 different roles, clarify their fulfilling career paths and secure fulfilling jobs while increasing their salaries by 30K on average. And I'm just elevating that. Like I'm on a mission. The next year, I want to help like 100 more women. So anyway, go to that link on the screen, hercareerdoctor.com/clarify to join us. Now, let's see. Are there any questions? Like I said, Instagram, I know there's a bit of a delay because of the platform that I'm using to stream. So I'm going to wait for like a minute. If you have a question, just like put an emoji in the chat. So I'll pause while you type your question. Because I know some of you have been here. So thanks people like Diane, Natty, who have been here the whole time. If you have a question, put an emoji in the chat. I'll just give it 1 minute to see if there are any questions before I wrap up. So put an emoji in the chat. So I'll pause. I'll know you have a question and then you can type your question. If not, we're going to wrap up here. I hope, okay, I see Elevate has a question. So I'll pause while you type your question. Type a question in the chat. I see that. I see your emoji. So I'll pause, or rather, I'll keep talking while you type your question so I can answer your question. So like I said, you have more skills than you think you do. Well, let me even wrap up. For those of you who maybe joined halfway through, when you say, I don't have the skills to do anything else in my career, what you're really talking about is your work tasks, and your work tasks are not the same thing as your skills. Do we connect on Facebook? I'm not sure I understand that question. Do you mean for the training? Is the training on Facebook? No, when the training goes live, it's actually happening off social media. It's happening on Teams on my platform. So that's why you have to go to that link to register. When you register, you'll just put in your name and your email, your first name and your email. That's all you'll submit. And then you'll get an email confirmation with the details for how to join the training on September 28th at 12 p.m. So it's not happening on Facebook. It's not happening on Instagram. It's not happening on any social media platform. It's happening off social media. And it will give you, you'll just put in your information. When you register, you'll get email reminders. So I know September 28th is like 3 weeks away. You don't want to forget. You'll get email reminders. If you can't make it live on September 28th, you will also get the recording. So only people who register actually get the recording, the replay. So if you can't make it live, you'll get access to the replay. And so just go to that link, hercareerdoctor.com/clarify, and you can register. You're welcome. You're welcome. Great question. I should have said that. Yes, it's not happening on social media. It's happening off social media. Well, thank you all for being here. This was so good. I feel like I was like dusting up the cobwebs a bit. I haven't been on live in like, I said, literally like a year. And I love being live. I love chatting with y'all. I'm going live every Saturday in September. This was our first in a series, my Saturday live series. I've forgotten the topic for next week, but I'll post it in my Instagram stories. I'll post it on LinkedIn. I'll post it everywhere. But every Saturday this month, meet me back here on wherever you're watching, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you're watching. Thanks for being here, y'all. And I will catch you next week. Bye, y'all.